Robbie from Chatting Tracks. How you doing? Yeah, so I've just jumped online real quick because I'm doing some new stuff and I'm trying some new things. This is basically my test to see if things work, is what this is. So it might be a bit haphazard and things like fall over and stuff like that, because basically what I've done, I've got new stuff. I've kitted out my new room. So I've got new monitors, I've got new lights, I've got a new Mac, I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got new streaming software and I've never used it. I've never used any of it. So I thought I'd just jump on and test it out and be a guinea pig and see if it works and if it doesn't work and that sort of stuff. If you message me in the comments, I'll be able to see it as well. And I've got some stuff to talk about as well. So I'm not just going to jump on, say hello and disappear. I'm going to talk about some things as well. But yeah, that's why I've not put much content out over the last couple of weeks. I've been busy sorting out all the equipment and just sourcing all the bits that I need. And if you could see behind me right now, everything's crazy. I've got the lamps leaning on the monitors. This curtain's just hanging on a rail. It could all just fall off at any minute. So maybe that's the end of the stream when it does. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing anyway. I'm just trying out some new stuff and seeing how it all works and all that sort of thing. So thanks for joining me anyway for the minute. So yeah, I've got some bits I want to talk about anyway. So, yeah, I've been quiet. I've been doing stuff because I've been working all this out and seeing how it works and getting it all together. And it seems to be okay. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to talk about some things and some stuff for a little while. And then after that, I'll just sign off and go. And I will say thank you for joining me because I'm just testing it all out. First of all, let's talk about this thing I saw about Kate Nash the other day. I don't know if you remember Kate Nash. A big hit was Foundations and Pumpkin Soup, which was a great song. She was a great artist. Anyway, so she's had a bit of hard time lately. So what happened was she's not had a record deal since 2012, I think I read it was, and she's been self-funding a lot of her tours, and she's been going to America quite a bit. She's been touring around quite a lot, but now the money's getting a bit strict and money's a bit tight. So what she's doing is she's self-funding herself by doing an OnlyFans. So what she's done, she's launched an OnlyFans where she's selling pictures of her bum, and that's now funding her tour. So, what's your opinion on that? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Should she do it? Should she not do it? I just think, this is, to me, is a true artist all the way through and through, that she's gone, I've tried to do different stuff. I tried to do record deals. They're not working. I've tried to do lots of touring to generate money, not working. She was selling jewelry, Star Wars jewelry, on a website a little while ago as well. She was doing a lot of that to make money for the tours, but that wasn't generating it. And obviously, I suppose if you see these ladies on OnlyFans doing this, you're going to realise that there's money in it, and then lots of money very quickly if you do it right. So yeah, that's what she's doing. So she's doing OnlyFans where she's doing a bottom, and she's putting it out there for the money. The question begs, though, does it detract from the music? If she's going to sell pictures of her butt, is the music they're going to suffer for that? Because it's just going to be Kate Nash's bum is what people are going to remember her for, not actually the music. Her first album, I think it was called House Made of Bricks. I can't remember what it was called. It's on there somewhere. Hang on. What was it called? Yeah, Made of Bricks. That was it. Yeah, the first album's really, really good. And that had Pumpkin Soup on it, and it had all that sort of stuff. But as the album's got on, the second album was good, but really interesting, but quite difficult to listen to as well. And as the album's got on, they did get a little bit sort of punkish to a degree, and they were out there quite a way. But still really good albums. You can't detract from the fact that the albums weren't great. They're really, really good. But I think the style changed for people because obviously she was sort of younger when she started and she had a lot of younger fans. And then I think as it's gone on, they've got older and it's not what fans want maybe. So, yeah. So, she's struggling to raise money. So she's decided to sell pictures of her bum for money to do it. And I thought it's a really interesting way of doing it. So it's called the Butts for Buses campaign. So yeah, she's been selling pictures of her butt to people. So if you buy that, you're going to get a tour money for the tour. The problem with that is, though, obviously, what she'll do is she'll do a picture like that, and then the Daily Express or someone will put a picture of her bum on their website, and that's it. No one will just pay for it. They'll just go to that thing. So you can't make it exclusive if you tried. She says, the music industry is completely broken for financial reasons, and she's now got a self-fund. And she thinks it's empowering to do it, and I think that's great. I'm just worried that it's going to detract from the music. I'd love to know what you think in the comments, whether you think that's a great idea or not. See, I'm also creating jobs with my bum now. For example, we couldn't bring a crew member on a tour that was with me in UK and Europe, but now because OnlyFans I can, she says. I mean, great for you. If it works for you, that's absolutely fantastic, and why not? I know Lily Allen recently was selling pictures of her feet. I don't know why she needs to do it. She lives in the middle of Manhattan. She's loaded. But she was selling pictures of her feet as well to get some money together as well. So it seems like it's just the way the industry is going now. You know, if you're a lady and you can, I mean, to me, this is a real valid reason for doing it. You know, she wants to bring people on tour and she wants to get the tour out there and she's doing it for the crack of it. Yeah. So, you know, it's a great way of doing it. It's nice that she's using herself to, you know, it's not, you know, she could have gone down the road of like the record companies dumped me because I'm a woman and they didn't want to do this because of this and they didn't want to do that because of that. And she's turned around and said, you know what, I'm going to do something that's empowering for me and I'm going to make a statement and I'm going to do it with my own bum, but I'm going to make some money out of it. I'm going to take people on tour and, you know, good for you. Why not? I mean, that's an excellent idea. That's absolutely fantastic. So good for you, Kate. If you just jumped on, hello, thank you for joining me. What it is, I've just got some new stuff. I was explaining at the start, some new bits and I'm just testing it all out. So I'm only jumping on quick today. Doing a quick stream, testing it all out, see if it all works, and then I'm going to disappear. So maybe a quick 5-minute chat with you before I go. Okay, so the other thing I was looking at the other day as well was obviously tomorrow the Beatles documentary is coming out, the Beatles 1964 one, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait for that. I'm super excited about it. I love the Beatles. Anyone do the Beatles. Anyone that knows me knows that. It's just, I'm obsessed with it all. So it's just fantastic. I think it's Ron Howard that's done it, or Oliver Stone. And what they've done is, it sounds like they've used the Peter Jackson AI to separate the audio. Because I've seen this footage before, and all you can hear is screaming and lots of row. And on this, you can actually hear what they're playing. And it's going to be a revelation just to hear that footage clear and just to see what was going on at the time. So that's super exciting to hear that. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about that as well, because that would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to know if you're a Beatles fan like me and you can't wait to hear it. For me personally, though, I was talking to my mate about it the other day, and I said, like, you know, I sort of want to go later. I want their footage from India. I want more Let It Be stuff. I want more Abbey Road stuff. I want their footage from later on, because I think that's the really tasty stuff. But there's been nothing about that yet. You know, they're sort of holding on to it. I wonder if it's going to be a little later, like maybe there's some stuff in there that they don't want to come out while the rest of the Beatles are alive and they're just sitting on it, and maybe it'll come out later. Who knows? But it'd be interesting to see what they do with that as well. Anyway, back to the web. So this, talking of that as well, which button is it? There we go. There we go. Fleetwood Mac have finally announced an announcement on their Instagram page that was a bit quiet. And apparently they're going to do a documentary on the band. So obviously with it's Apple Plus that's doing it. So with the history of the band doing really, really well, and you know, like people love Fleetwood Mac, don't they? They're fantastic. It's one of those things where I think they've thought, actually, we can do this. Now, apparently it's Apple TV Plus that's going to do the documentary. So that should be really interesting. They did a fantastic one on the Velvet Underground, which is on there. And they do some, obviously, they did the, Disney did the Let It Be stuff and all that. But Apple's now, I think, going to try and make their way into that sort of headway by doing their own documentaries, and they're looking at doing this Fleetwood Mac one. So when I looked into it, unfortunately I can't scroll the screen because it wants to play up because it's new. I can't scroll it and read it. But when I read it earlier, it said that it's going to be focused on the Rumours lineup. So it's Rumours up until basically, I suppose, when Lindsey Buckingham left Fleetwood Mac. So, you know, as a Fleetwood Mac listener, I was hoping they were going to do a maybe a 4-hour documentary, a bit like the Eagles did it, where they did it in 2 sections. You know, there's 2 lots of the Eagles. There was the Eagles from the start to the Hell Freezes Over. Then there was the Hell Freezes Over until modern day, pretty much. Obviously, that documentary's out of date now because a few of them have passed away, which is a real shame. But I was hoping they were going to do the same thing with the Fleetwood Mac one. It was going to be from, you know, Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac up until you have the various members, because there's a lot of members in that band. Then they stop. Then it goes from Rumours up until modern day when Lindsay goes. But apparently it's not. It's just going to focus on the last album. So it'd be like Tusk. Is it for Mirage or just Mirage? And the Little Liars album, that sort of stuff. Tango in the Night. So it'll be sort of focusing on that stuff. But don't get me wrong, that'd be great. And that is the messy period, let's be honest. But there's a lot of interesting Fleetwood Mac stuff way before that that's going to get missed out, which is a real, real shame. I was hoping they're going to do 2 documentaries and cut it in half, but they're not. They're just going to do one big bit. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be absolutely interesting to find out. I think it said it's coming out in April. Let's see if it lets me scroll. I don't think it will. No, it just wants to be a pain. Okay, well, I can't show any more of that. But unfortunately, yeah, so that's going to be a really interesting documentary. So that's my learning curve 1. Screening doesn't work. Okay. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting as well. Okay, I want to talk about something completely different now before I go. Just one more thing. So I've been seeing a lot of footage of Frankie Valli lately from the 4 Seasons, and he's been, you know, sort of said he's miming and stuff like that. And I've looked at it a little bit the other day, and I kind of got to agree. Let's look at the video and let's see what you think. It's going to roll in, and we'll take a look at it. Now let's look at that one more time, and we'll talk over that as it's going, because to me that's a bit strange, that one, isn't it? Right, where's my video button? So let's look at it again. So as you can see already, he's not really moving his lips. He's kind of just like singing through his teeth. I don't know if that's an expression, but he's not really moving his lips much. And obviously when you're singing like share, you need like loads of movement in your lips to do that, because it's a belter of a song, but it seems to me that he's quite quiet. So let's have a look a bit more. I mean, to me, he's not singing there at all. That's definitely miming. I mean, he's always had a powerful voice. Don't get me wrong. He's always had a great voice, Frankie Valli, and he can sing. But I've seen him in the past when he's trying to do those notes and he really has to use his stomach and his diaphragm to get those notes out. And the man's 90 years old. I mean, he's 90 now. So he's trying to sing these high notes exactly the same as he did back in the 1950s and 60s at 90. And to me, it's a shame he's miming because he's getting old, but he can't really do it anymore, bless him, because he's just knocking on, I think. I mean, I'll be amazed if he does that a cappella and it's the same. So I don't know if he'll be able to do that. But talking of that, when you get these artists that are getting on a bit, like, Frankie's 90 there. Phil Collins is obviously not drumming anymore because he's got back problems, and there's lots of things going on. Why don't these guys then, like, I went to a film fair a couple of weeks ago, and it was music related technically, and I saw these guys. So it was the young ones there. So it was Neil and Mike from the young ones. So Nigel playing and Chris Ryan, and that's me geeking out in the middle with a big grin on my face. Look how nerdy I am. I couldn't resist it. And they signed my copy of Living Doll there, and Neil signed his copy of his album, which I've got up there. And the thing is, though, why don't they then, musicians and artists, eventually go around and just do tour circuits where they talk about their career? I mean, Frankie Valli's had an amazing life. If you've seen the film Jersey Boys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's had an insane journey. And I'm sure if they just sat there and was talking about their careers and, their life and the records, and you get 4 or 5 of them together talking all at the same time, it'd probably be a really interesting evening. You could meet them after, they could sign some vinyls for you. There's something very similar happening in Brighton soon that I'm going to in January. And Hugh Padgham there was a producer who produced Phil Collins. He did Don't Stand So Close to Me by The Police. He did just the list is just Peter Gabriel. He did a load of Peter Gabriel stuff. He pretty much invented that Phil Collins sound. So In the Air Tonight, he invented that drum sound. It's all Hugh Padgham's. And we're going to go along, and he's going to talk about Phil Collins and recordings, and he's going to sign some vinyls and stuff after. And it's just one of these things where that's just really interesting. You can't talk about production because it wouldn't be, if he's mixing it, it'd be boring. But to talk about how he produced the records, working with the artists, that'd be really fascinating to watch. And it's the same for these guys. Why don't you do that? Just get a few of them. Frankie Avalon's still around, I think. Dion's still around, I think. Why don't they just get together and tour and talk about their records, even if they play it in the background, and sort of just, they play it and then you just listen and then you sing along with it. Well, it'd be great. It'd be really great and a really interesting evening. I think that's what these artists should do now. Once it gets to the point of, you're struggling to sing, and full credit for him to come out on stage and do it. But if you're a working person and you're spending all your money, do you really want to spend your money to see someone miming and be in the same room? I saw Elton John 2-3 years ago, and his voice is great. It's not as good as what it was back in the day, obviously, but it was seeing him playing the piano and still singing that was the bit I saw it for. If he was miming, like when he had to go at Madonna that time for miming, and he said, why pay money to see someone mime? I can't discredit him for that. He's absolutely right. So it's the same thing, should you pay to see it just to be in the same room as him? It's one of them sorts of things where I'm not so sure. Anyway, I thought I'd just jump on and test all the equipment and see how it works, and what it looks like when I watch it on the big telly. So thank you for joining me. If you're watching this later, hello, thanks for joining me on this. Let me know in the comments what you think about what we spoke about today. I'd be interested to get your thoughts on some of the stuff I've just chatted about. I didn't script anything. I didn't write anything. It was all just off the top of my head. So, if you agree or disagree, let me know. We're all friends. So just hit me up and let me know in the comments. Next Thursday, I think it is, me and my friend, we're going to do a live stream where we're going to talk to some unsigned bands and artists as well. So we've got a bit of that going on next week. There'll be links in the description for that, so you'll find out about that as well, and there'll be quite a bit going on. And over Christmas, I'm hopefully going to do some more reaction videos and some more deep dives and bits and bobs like that. And cool. So thank you for joining me on this. It was literally just me a test testing the video, see if it works, what the equipment does, Either way, let's chat in the comments anyway. Let's have some fun, and I shall see you on the next one. Love and peace, and I'll see you later.